We haven't seen that yet in this tournament. We saw one Nautilus, and it was in the jungle. It is going to be Zach as the final ban for Shabab albomb. LeaguersGG banning away Rise for their final ban. Of course, these two teams representing the countries of Saudi Arabia for Shabab albomb. LeaguersGG representing the country of Lebanon. And only one of them is going to be able to stay in the tournament and keep their dreams of first place alive. The other will be leaving empty-handed.
They're going to be leaving with Timo mushrooms.
No, because then they'd have something with them.
They need something.
They leave with the wonderful experiences and friendships strengthened.
We're not My Little Pony, we're League of Legends.
I mean, they could pick Hecarim. He's not banned. It is actually going to be the Sejuani being taken as the first pick, though, by Shabab albomb. Meanwhile, it's the Kalista-Alistair duo lane getting grabbed there for LeaguersGG. That is such a strong duo lane when you can get it. As long as the Kalista and Alistair are played properly, then it is just absolutely devastating, no matter who you are going up against it.
Yeah, Kalista-Alistair is definitely a strong lane. Personally, I feel if you go a very, very safe poke style lane, it'll put you in a really good situation.
I'll have to see if that Annie ends up being the support. That could be just the poke style lane that they need of Annie and Graves, but it could always be the Annie in the mid lane. So we'll have to see what they do decide to do for Shabab albomb. Meanwhile, LeaguersGG contemplating their next two selections.
And Shen being hovered over by M5 Fisker. Personally, I feel like Shen still... I'm really happy that he's making a resurgence in the top lane. He's like that second tier top lane pick alongside Nautilus and then Aurelia.
I'll have to see. It is going to be Shen and Jarvan currently hovered now. Looks like those
are
going to be the two selections. That is a pretty beefy team that they've got going on over there. I'm not just saying that because there's an Alistar.
It's like Kalista's just sitting behind them and she just has these giant statues of champions just in front of her.
Pretty much. There's a lot of knock-up, a lot of CC coming out from that side as well.
And before Yasuo.
I actually wouldn't be too upset to see Yasuo come out of that composition.
Neither would I.
I mean, he'd be able to block projectiles from Annie, block Twin Fangs from Cassiopeia, if they do go with the Cassiopeia, which it looks like they're going to switch that out. They can block the entire ultimate of Sejuani. Like, Windwall can block so much from this side. It can block Graves Ult, can block Buckshot. Like, there's so many things that Windwall can block coming out from Shabab albomb. And then you have Alistar knock-up, Kalista ultimate technically being Alistar, another knock-up. Jarvan has a knock-up. There's 3 other champions that have knock-ups for the Yasuo ultimate. I would really actually like to see a Yasuo come out here for LeaguersGG. And there's going to be the Twisted Fate and the Olaf being picked up for Shabab albomb. Getting that physical damage and magic damage. Make it very difficult to itemize against them.
I'm just waiting for Subtlety to lock into Yasuo.
That's the one thing, the only issue I would have with the Yasuo pickup is there'd be almost no magic damage. Because
they have Alistar, that's
while
enough.
Alistar and Yasuo and Shen do magic damage, they're not magic damage threats. So that would be my only complaint, but I think the amount of utility that Yasuo brings into this would be so worth it, but it doesn't look like that's what they want to do, as Subtlety is hovering over the LeBlanc.
Oh, he's going to take the Katarina instead.
That, I don't like.
There's a lot of CC coming in from Shabab albomb. Not too
Yeah,
sure though if Katarina was the best pickup there into this matchup.
I mean, depending on the engage they get, if you get a really good Alistair knockup, and you can follow it up with the double knockup of Alistair, knockup from Jarvan, and the taunt from Shen, it could give Katarina, plenty of time to pop her ultimate in the middle of a fight. But like you said, there's so many options. There's two different knockups from, or hard CCs from Sejuani. You have one on Twisted Fate. You have the one on every 4 spells from Annie. There's plenty of ways for him to stop a Katarina ultimate going down. However, I could see it actually working if only for the pick potential and the fact that Katarina should be able to do really well against TF in lane, because she can just wait until he uses pick a card and then jump on him and know that he's not going to be able to stop her ultimate.
I would have to say one of the bigger issues is also going to be Annie. Strictly for Katarina, Annie is going to be trying to nuke her.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect to see at level 6 Annie probably going to be roaming up toward mid lane with Sejuani and try and pressure the mid lane, get that Katarina as far behind as she possibly can get her. But it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. Very tanky team coming out of LeaguersGG and a very team fight oriented team coming from Shabab albomb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to watch. The matchup in the top lane is actually going to be the Olaf versus Shen. I'm actually not entirely sure how it's going to go, because I haven't actually seen Olaf in a lane in a long time. Typically, when he gets picked up, someone's taking him into the jungle. But it is going to be VG Monkey on the top lane Olaf.
Not too sure how I feel about that, honestly. Olaf is going to be able to dominate the lane against Shen. That is without a fact. Or without a doubt, rather. However, how is that going to transition into the mid and late game? Because he has no ghost, so he has no real sticking power unless he's constantly landing those axes. He has flash, sure, but their team is all about peel. If they're able to somehow stop him during his Ragnarok from getting to Kalista, Kalista's going to tear him apart.
I mean, they have ways to stop him during his Ragnarok from getting to Kalista, and that's Kalista. I mean, Kalista can just sit there and constantly backpedal. Yeah, she doesn't jump away as far, but she still jumps a pretty good distance away, and if she has a lot of attack speed, she's going to be able to kite the Olaf even through his Ragnarok. So I'm not a huge fan of that pick there. We'll have to see. Maybe if he snowballs really hard, if he really dominates that top lane and gets really far ahead, then it's not going to matter, and he can just pop the Ragnarok and take out everyone else while someone like Sejuani tries to get onto the Kalista or something like that. But it's going to be a tough task for him. I definitely feel like it's not going to pan out, unfortunately. However, I do feel like the rest of the team is strong enough that they can get engages off to the point where Olaf isn't the one being focused. Because if Olaf doesn't get touched, then he's going to be able to just power through people, get some armor penetration, and do some work. So it's going to be tough to see. I mean, it's definitely going to be... They have the potential there to... Both sides have the potential to get the game snowballing heavily in their favor. It'll just be a case of who's going to be able to be the ones getting the better target priority focus, and who's going to have the better rotations and objective control.
Right.
We get on over to the loading screen. It is going to be Frankentibbers Annie for Ultra Reflex, Mafia Graves on Black 8, Musketeer Twisted Fate for Valento, Poro Rider Sejuani for IVI Snoka, and Pentakill Olaf for VG Monkey 750. And that's the side of Shabab albomb. That's the loading screen being done already. These are fast loading screens today.
not complaining. So it's gonna be Striker or Sweeper Alistair, Sandstorm Katarina, Commando Jarvan, Warlord Shen, and No Skin Callista coming from LeaguersGG.
Teams are both on the rift. The gates are open. They're making their way out into the jungle. Have to see if we have any level 1 shenanigans.
You're a shenanigan.
It doesn't look like there's going to be. As it's a couple of defensive wards being put down. Shen and Olaf both nowhere near the teams. Looks like Olaf's going to be wanting to start off at this wolf camp. Oh, a little bit of level 1 poke. Alistair not really going to care about that. That one he's going to care about, though. Ultra Reflex, having a little bit of fun with the Annie, getting some poke onto Alistair. Needs to be careful, though, because Alistair's health is going to come back without issue. Annie's mana, on the other hand, is actually going to be recalling here to make sure that he's topped off when he gets back to lane.
I don't really know why she recalled. She has Ancient Coin. 25% extra mana regen.
Because it doesn't really matter because she got recalled before minions spawned, so it's not going to do anything.
I mean, it doesn't matter, but still.
And she was missing a lot of mana. She used 2 Qs. I don't think it would have been back by the time they got into lane.
I blame you.
There's no reason for that, but okay.
You took her mana. What the hell, man?
Doesn't even make sense, but okay.
Shut up.
So we are going to be seeing, actually, Sejuani going to start at her red buff, while the duo lane of Shabab albomb takes the Krug camp. So...
Not the first time we've seen this.
It's not the first time at all. It is the first time I don't believe it was Shabab albomb that did it the first time that we saw it. It was someone yesterday that did it. However, Jarvan is going to be starting on the top side of his jungle, so we're going to be getting that red buff before the blue.
A lot of damage going on both sides there in the bot lane. Fisker eating a bit of damage there in the top lane from VG Monkey. That's the pressure that Olaf has in the top lane. He just kind of walks up to you, hits you a few times, and then uses his E.
Yep, and that's going to be the first gank being survived. Wasn't a terribly efficient gank coming out of Jarvan. Just kind of putting a little bit of pressure on TF, letting him know that he's there. However, this time they're going to be going in again. The knockup once again doesn't hit, but that's a lot of damage being taken. They're going to go underneath the tower, and the first blood goes over to Katarina. Ignite was used by Twisted Fate, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough. And just like that, Katarina getting herself an advantage in the lane.
I'm really surprised that he didn't expect Jarvan to return there. My parrot's laughing for some reason. Honestly, Jarvan made his presence known, and you would think, oh, I burned my flash. They're probably going to try and gank me again. Let me play super safe.
Yeah, I mean, he was relatively safe. I mean, he avoided the knockup, but it wasn't safe enough. There was just too much damage that came through from the J4 and Katarina that they were able to get the first blood. Jarvan barely getting his blue buff there. Going to have to recall. I wonder, because Katarina roamed down, okay, she was just putting a ward. I was going to say, was she looking to get the blue buff, and then J4 just got too low and had to take it before he died, but I don't think that was ever the plan. Katarina going to go in, actually eating a lot of damage on the escape. Twisted Fate getting a second Doran's Ring, while Katarina did recall and get herself an Amp Tome.
Yeah, Katarina is just going to get to a point where she's just going to poke him out over and over again, which is going to be a definite problem here for Twisted Fate. Yeah, he's going to be able to farm, but he's going to be unable to roam for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing. Both of these mid laners are really big on the roam, as Katarina once again going in, but once again eating a lot of damage on the way out. Both junglers going to be finding each other directed camera, not really sure where it wants to go.
They gave each other a high five.
There's just people fighting all over the map right now as the action ends up focusing mostly on the mid lane. The knock-up on the Jarvan there is going to cause a disengage as he gets himself out.
So right now, just one kill going over to LeaguersGG, but the gold actually starting to pull in favor of Shabab albomb.
Yeah, just slight CS advantages in every lane, which is something that we've seen a couple of times where one team just has heavy farm advantages, but the other side ends up having just better fighting. And we've seen it go both ways. We've seen the farming team end up picking up a victory. We've also seen the fighting team come out on top. So there's no set thing to say, oh, just because they're ahead in farm means that they're going to win. However, it's going to be Shen getting the taunt onto Olaf, going to be forcing the flash out as Jarvan comes in for the gank. Jarvan used his flash as well, though. So flash for flash being used in the top lane.
Flash for flash, but you also have Sejuani being able to pressure the bot lane. In the mid lane, we do see Bledsoe picking up together onto Subtlety. And there is the pause.
Yep, game gonna be paused. Hopefully, won't be too long of an issue coming out. It was actually, unfortunately, it was the Katarina that had some lag issues there, which is what gave the kill over to
I mean, they
Valento.
just kind of stand there.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's bad manners to kill someone that looks like they're disconnected," but I am always of the opinion that just go for it. I mean, especially when there's something on the line, like in this tournament where there's money on the line. Yeah, sports. You know, seeing someone be sportsmanlike about it is really nice, but at the end of the day, I mean, when you're playing for money, you gotta take those advantages. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I know a lot of people are gonna be are upset by that mentality, but you know what?
It's League of
It's
Legends.
not only is it League of Legends, but it's League of Legends where you have a chance to win money. I'm not gonna take that risk because then you're gonna if you gain a reputation for being someone that always anytime there's an issue you just kind of back off and let them live. People are gonna start just hitting S and be like, oh, I'm lagged out, and then you let them live and they're just like, ha, gotcha. And you don't want to take that risk. Of course, you'd have to be even more unsportsmanlike than taking a kill on a disconnected player to pull something like that. But there's people out there that would do it. As unfortunate as it is. Where we are back in the game. We are going to be seeing in this bottom lane. There's been a lot of just poking going on down there without much action. The camera keeps trying to drop down there because there's damage being dealt, but nothing's coming from it. So, in this mid lane, actually, Jarvan's going to be very low, having to just retreat back out. And Twisted Fate is doing a great job, despite giving up the early kill, the first blood. He's been doing such a good job in terms of farming, but Katarina's going to be going in for another kill. Is she going to get it? She uses the ultimate, but doesn't make it. Twisted Fate using his ultimate, but doesn't have a chance to actually teleport out. And that will be a second kill being picked up by Subtlety.
That was a flash used by Subtlety there as well. So Twisted Fate actually probably going to be happy with that. He didn't burn his flash or his ignite there in that engagement. Our Katarina still has her ignite. But the fact that Katarina doesn't have flash means that if Sejuani makes her way towards the mid lane, that's an almost definite kill.
I don't know if it's almost definite because she does still have Shunpo to be able to get out of tricky situations.
But the way she's been using her Shunpo, she's been using it very aggressively to get in onto Twisted Fate. So keeping that in mind, it's going to be easy to take advantage of.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can take advantage of that, if they've noticed it as well. It's going to be... It's going to require Sejuani getting into the side brush without being seen, which shouldn't be too difficult right now. There are not many wards down for the red team. I believe there's actually... The only thing close to a ward being down is that little spirit from smiting the wolf camp. Otherwise, the map is dark for them. So Sejuani does have free reign. However, they're going to go in onto this Twisted Fate. Jarvan coming in for the gank. That's going to be another kill going over to Subtlety. And if Sejuani's going to make a move to try and help with this mid lane, she needs to do it very quickly.
Yeah, she's just kind of roaming around the jungle doing nothing right now, and she's very minutely ahead of Jarvan in terms of CS, but he has 2 assists to his name, so he evened that out in gold already, and as it is. There's the Tibber stun onto Bronze Kalista, followed by the ultimate from Sejuani, and it's going to be the kill picked up by Graves there onto Kalista.
So Sejuani does make her presence felt on the map, getting the kill onto the AD carry, and now they're going to be able to go and try and pick up Dragon. Jarvan's on the opposite side of the map. They are going to get this pretty easily here. So a nice play there by Sejuani. Of course, she is still going to have to put a lot of attention onto this mid lane to shut down Subtlety, because he already has an Ether Wisp and the boots. So that's going to be a very strong Katarina. Needlessly, Rod is picked up by Twisted Fate, so he's going to have some damage. But meanwhile, up in the top lane, Shen being taken very low, but here comes Jarvan to try and fight the Olaf. But Olaf has so much damage, he gets a double kill. VG Monkey showing that why people are so afraid of a low health Olaf.
A low health Olaf with Bilgewater Cutlass popping Ragnarok.
Yeah, that was just so much damage that came out of him. Picking up the double kill, he's going to be having a really fun time in that top lane now.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty easy for him to just kind of sit there and just outdo the Shen at this point. So it's going to really dependent on whether or not Shen goes ahead and instead of focusing on fighting the Olaf, just focus on getting the team ahead. Throw down Stand United on your teammates. That's all you really can do at this point.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there coming out from Annie. She made the roam up at level 6 like you thought. However, she just stepped a little bit too far outside of the brush, and Katarina was able to see her and backed off immediately. So just some time wasted there from Annie. And now Katarina going in, getting some damage onto Twisted Fate once again. And though not CSing very well, despite the 3 deaths, Twisted Fate is still up by almost 20 CS on Katarina.
So right now, there goes Sierra117 going in with the Cataclysm onto Ultra Reflex and Black 8. But Sierra117 left on his own there. The Fate's call went in the complete opposite direction, in the direction of Blento. So they were able to get a free kill there onto the Jarvan, now a free kill onto Kalista. Twisted Fate was taken down, double kill going over to VG Monkey from the top lane. Ultra Reflex getting that 3rd kill. 4 kills going over to Shabab albomb.
Yeah, and Shen had his ultimate that whole time and never used it to help his team. He decided to stay in the top lane, try and get himself some CS, try and possibly take this tower, but you lost 4 kills in the process. If Shen had just ulted in and then landed a nice taunt, they could have probably turned that fight around, but instead he stayed up there and his team is losing a lot because of this. At most, they're going to get a tower trade, and they still, again, lost 4 members for it. Definitely they actually lost 2 towers, so they're coming out way behind in this. Shabab albomb definitely going to be very happy with that trade. So 8-4 in favor of the team from Saudi Arabia. A 4K gold lead, 2-1 on structures, and of course they did get that first dragon earlier. First dragon is that 6% AP and AD bonus. I'm going to help them out with a little bit of extra damage.
So right now, a lot of gold sitting on that Olaf right now. He's going to be able to do so much, and it's really going to be completely dependent on how they choose to focus him out. There is not a lot of damage coming out of LeaguersGG, and it's a lot of damage sitting on Shabab albomb, and Ultra Reflex roaming up toward the mid lane, trying to put some pressure on this Katarina.
And that's what we talked about it in Champ Select. Olaf, he had to get really far ahead early on, to be super effective, and he has gotten himself really far ahead early on. It's kind of like a Aurelia type of thing. However, there's going to be Jarvan getting caught out a bit. Going to use that Cataclysm to try and get onto the Twisted Fate. Katarina is actually going to pick up that kill. Jarvan does go down in return, so it is currently a 1-for-1. But Annie is not in the best situation. However, Olaf is making his way down, and that's going to cause the entire team of LeaguersGG to try and retreat. Just the sight of Olaf showing up, but there goes the Ragnarok, and he's going in onto Callista. She is going to get destroyed by those axes, and another kill coming out in favor of Graves. 3-0-2 on him, and Shabab albomb is just running wild.
Yeah, Shabab albomb are really just taking this game by storm. They learned from the game that they had earlier, making sure that they didn't just sit and farm all the time. Yeah, they had good map movements, but they had no combat pressure. Now, they finally found a nice balance between combat pressure as well as map pressure.
Yeah, just playing very aggressively here, as they're now going to go in onto the Shen. Annie and Olaf going to go underneath the tower. Annie's actually the one tanking it up, and Shen is going to be just fine as they do back out, or maybe not. That swing just doing so much damage. Here comes the Twisted Fate teleporting on up. That's going to be a kill picked up. Annie going to get out from underneath the tower, and that is just a kill going over. And however, there's going to be, oh my goodness, those cards did a lot of damage to Callista and Katarina. They're going to try and answer this though, as a knockup lands, but Olaf is still there. He's at about half health. Katarina goes in, picks up the Twisted Fate, gonna get the Annie. Actually, that's gonna go over to Jarvan. So, LeaguersGG with a nice answer to this top lane room. Graves is still on his way up, so I don't think they're gonna quite get as much as they wanted. Sejuani just gonna be causing a little bit of trouble, but everyone from LeaguersGG has now backed out.
Yeah, really good job by LeaguersGG to really put some pressure on. Granted, they couldn't get the Olaf. Oh, Alistair.
Alistair gonna get found and caught and killed. And that is the 13th kill on the board for Shabab albomb. While Olaf still just harassing this Shen. Shen does have his Sunfire cape now, so he's going to be able to survive a little bit against Olaf, but Olaf's already has a finished Blade of the Ruined King and is starting to get some health under his belt too.
Yeah, right now Olaf just has to get tanky, and he's just going to be a complete unstoppable bastard in the top lane. When you really think about it. Oh, and that's going to be Subtlety almost caught out there by Snoka. Right now, Dragon is live. This will be the second Dragon of the game for Shabab albomb. So we'll see if they're able to go ahead and secure that. Jack Sparrow is here. Subtlety is here. Sierra 117 is also here. Olaf does have teleport to come down. However, Stand United is also active. This is the Dragon. Gonna be going over to Shabab albomb. Sierra 117 sitting in the middle of that fight. Stand United was throwing that onto him, but he's gonna be taken down there by Graves. And it's gonna be Jack Sparrow, the next target here. Valento gonna be targeting him out. Is he gonna be taken down? There's the collateral damage from Graves, picking up the double kill there for him in that team fight. 2-0 going in favor of Shabab albomb, as well as the Dragon, as well as a blue buff, and as well as a pink ward.
Yeah, a lot of advantages going in their favor once again. And again, our Stand United was used, but it got canceled. So he provided the shield, but didn't show up to the fight. Probably a good choice in that instance. The fight had gone south very quickly for LeaguersGG. So if he had shown up, even with the taunt, probably wouldn't have been able to do a whole lot. However, they're at risk of losing their inner tower in the mid lane now. They're going to be able to get back in time to defend. So looking at the items, it's the Cinder Hulk coming out for both junglers. So both of them going to be trying to get really tanky, but then J4 picking up the Phage. I'm assuming that's going to go into a Black Cleaver to just try and get some armor shred, but there's not a whole lot of armor that they need to shred. What's really interesting to me, though, is the fact that there are 2 Righteous Glories on the side of Shabab albomb, so they are going to be really looking to go very aggressive. Now that they have this lead, about 7,000 gold in the favor for them, Annie and Olaf are going to have...
Sierra.
Going to be trying to go for those engages. They get some damage down Sierra, but he's starting to get tanky enough that he was able to survive, having that Negatron cloak as well as the Cinder Hulk. But Shen, on the other hand, is actually he's going to be pretty okay as well. Also,
Oh,
Negatron there.
Subtlety ate a lot of damage there just from Sejuani. Sejuani maxing her W. So you can see just how much damage she could actually output there. It's almost like Gragas. Oh, and there's the failed flash taunt from M5 Fisker. So right now, both flash and taunt are down. There is no real threat currently on the side of LeaguersGG. And there goes the Sejuani ultimate. Ultra Reflex, we get the killer onto Bronze Callista. Cataclysm being thrown down onto the Annie as well. Katarina going to be able to pick up the return kill onto Twisted Fate. Tower is going to be taken in their favor. Jack Sparrow being taken down by Snoka and Ultra Reflex. And he's going to be taken down. BG Monkey picking up the kill onto Alistair. Double kill going over to him on the Katarina as well. Fisker and Sierra able to get out of that alive, but Monkey just getting free kills here. Went ahead and completed the Righteous Glory on top of the Blade of the Ruined King. So he has chase, he has damage. He's just ready to go ahead and run rampant.
Black 8 is still chasing this Jarvan down while his team takes care of that tower. He does decide to finally peel off. Figures the wolves are more important. And that tower did go down in the top lane. So everyone from the side of LeaguersGG was so focused on trying to take down Twisted Fate. There was the entire team just went past everyone and jumped on the Twisted Fate. They got the kill on him, but that was the only kill that they got, and lost 3 members and a tower in the process. So again, Shabab albomb, every single fight is just going in their favor. Right now they're sitting with TF is like, they can't focus the TF. He's the only one that isn't a threat at this point in the game. I mean, he's 2, 7, and 5. He is literally almost all of his team's deaths. He only has a Luden's Echo and a needlessly large rod. Whereas you look at, like, Olaf has a Blade of the Ruined King, a Righteous Glory, and now a Brutalizer. You have 2 full items completed on Graves. There's so many other threats besides the Twisted Fate. You can't be spending that much focus and, all those abilities being used on just trying to kill him.
Right now, not a lot that they can do at this point. 10,000 gold behind. 706 Olaf, 0010 Sedge, 605 Graves. What can they do?
They're relying on Katarina at this point, who has the most damage for their team at this point. But again, she's so easy for Shabab albomb to just jump on and take out that there's not a whole lot that she can do by herself. She needs to rely on a really good engage coming from her team, but her team is not they don't have the level of engage that Shabab albomb does. Both teams have really strong engage, but Shabab is just, because they're so far ahead, that just by default makes their engage a bit stronger.
So right now, Olaf still going to be pushing topside. He does have teleport up. Dragon's going to be up in a little over 30 seconds. Baron is up. Olaf can probably do Baron with Sejuani if they go for the Dragon on the side of LeaguersGG. So they're going to have to be extremely careful not to be seen going down there for that objective.
Yeah, there is a ward in the Baron pit for now. Olaf's just going to be perfectly content to split push, but there's not enough pressure on the map from the rest of his team at the moment. So they're going to be able to send a lot of people from LeaguersGG up there. The rest of the team is going to actually just go on over to the Dragon Pit, wait for that to respawn, and take that. So, 3rd Dragon of the game going to be going over here at about 23 minutes, which means they have the potential for the aspect of the Dragon at 35 minutes is when they'll have that potential to go on. Olaf going to get caught out here, has to flash out of the Cataclysm. That's the one, the best way to prevent him from doing anything with his Ragnarok is just drop him in that Jarvan ultimate. Now that they know that Olaf flashes down, the next time Jarvan has his Cataclysm up, that could be their way into a fight, is just have Jarvan go in and Cataclysm Olaf, flag and drag himself out, and just go for a fight while Olaf is stuck inside that arena. The problem is that's going to take a lot of coordination from the team, and you'll have to hope that the disengage doesn't come from Shabab albomb and that they can win that fight. That's still a tall task to ask them to win that because Graves is so far ahead as well. I mean, looking at the gold, you got 10,000 on Olaf, almost 10,000 on Graves. The highest gold amount on the side of LeaguersGG is almost 8,000 for Katarina. So there's two members on the side of Shabab albomb that have almost over 2,000 gold above the highest gold earner for LeaguersGG.
Not only that, they have so much more damage on their side. Even Twisted Fate, who's been the direct focus in a lot of these fights, he's 275, has a Luden's Echo and a Zhonya's, to the Zhonya's boots and needlessly large on Katarina. So, when you really look at it, when they don't have MR, he does more damage. Oh, and there's a Righteous Glory pop by Olaf, and they're going in godlike for Black 8, instantly taking out that Kalista with collateral damage. And a kill going across on the Shen as well.
That aggressive ultimate from Twisted Fate is going to get them another kill on the Alistar. This is going to be the inhibitor tower and the inhibitor going down 25 minutes in. Shabab albomb is just completely dominating this match right now.
Yeah, Shabab albomb just really taking this game by storm. This is the Baron for them.
Yeah, they're definitely making their way over there. With 3 members down there, they are going to be up in time, so actually they're not going to go for the objective, knowing that they could have the steal threat of multiple members showing up over that wall. Every single member on the side of LeaguersGG has the ability to go over the wall without using flash. So that's the one thing that they do have going for them is they have the potential to make a really strong play at Baron if Shabab albomb goes for it without killing multiple members right before it.
I'm really surprised they actually didn't go ahead and complete the Baron. That would have actually been a pretty decisive play on their part. Go ahead, take that Baron, push up top lane, and just try and steamroll that even further.
Exactly. I think they were just worried about the threat of, because everyone was going to be back up before they could take it and on their way over. So it would have been actually, despite the fact that they're so far ahead, it would have been a pretty risky play because LeaguersGG could have easily just jumped their entire team over that back wall and joined the fight.
Ultra Reflex trying to make something happen, being an absolute nuisance right now.
Annie just looks really creepy wearing the Elixir of Iron.
Oh, let me see. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Like, just seeing a large Annie is just strange. However, this is going to be Shabab albomb going for the Baron now, knowing that they had to defend that mid lane, seeing Jarvan in the bottom lane. That was their go signal, and now Olaf just going to force Shen away from the pit. They get the Baron, and Olaf just absolutely 1v1ing the Shen. The flash is used, but there goes the Ragnarok so that he can dive right through the Alistar and go legendary.
And that's what Olaf does. There is the flag and drag from Sierra117 onto BG Monkey. He's going to be taken down with the Chilling Smite. First death of the game there for the Olaf. However, Kalista going to be taken down there even if she used Fate's Call on the Alistar. And he's going to be picking up the kill there onto Jarvan with her Incinerate. Is Jack Sparrow going to be taken down? Yes, double kill going over to the Graves. That's 4 members taken down from LeaguersGG. Subtlety.
What? Whoa.
What?
Oh, he reconnected apparently. Okay. That was... Subtlety was disconnected and just walking back to base, but then apparently reconnected just in time to get the kill on Annie, but then goes down to the Graves. So that is 26-10 in favor of Shabab albomb. They're going to take the second inhibitor in the top lane. Maybe it's not quite down yet. Minions are going to take that, though. Shen trying to force them away, but just not doing enough. Here comes some assistance as Kalista and J4 are making their way on down. Not going to be able to get enough, though.
Oh,
Too
here
much move
comes
speed.
Olaf.
Immediately.
The Ragnarok and the Youmu's there trying to get close, but not going to be finding anybody.
A little too anxious there by Olaf. They are now just going to be backing away. Now they just need to push up bottom. I mean, they have a minion wave at the tower. Graves is going to go in and or has the ability to go in and take that tower. Of course, he didn't really know how quickly they were going to be answering. He's going into there now, and it's only Shen coming to stop him.
So, how do you think the next 3 minutes are going to play out?
I have a feeling that Shabab albomb is going to group up bottom lane and probably end up winning the game as Graves deletes Kalista off the map. It's the tanks now left in as the front line there, going in. Graves trying to
Actually,
keep
Black
it alive.
8 in a really bad spot here. He's by himself.
Not
And here
for
comes
long,
this one.
though. The Sejuani ultimate coming through. Here comes the Twisted Fate teleporting on in with his own ultimate. They're going to try and get this Katarina. She's doing not a whole lot of damage, and she is going to be going down. Actually, Twisted Fate was taken very low. Graves somehow got out of there alive, but TF is going to be going down to Subtlety. There's super minions in the base. Yep, super minions are in the base, and are they going to get the tower in the base? I don't think so.
Oh
But
my
Olaf
God.
is joining the fray. A new challenger approaches, and Olaf just takes down two members. Somehow Graves gets tower aggro, and he is still not dead. They are finally going to take down this bottom tower.
Yeah, this is absolutely absurd. Olaf just kind of walks in and kills your base.
And it's actually, Olaf doesn't even have the best score anymore. That honor now goes over to Graves, 13-0-7 for the AD carry. And that's why he's been able to just fire up a buckshot and a collateral damage, and Kallista's just gone. I thought it was Twisted Fate that was supposed to be the magician. But Graves is making people disappear.
Yeah, this Graves is just doing absurd amount of damage. This is 1307. 20 kill participation out of their 30.
Yeah, this is going to be the fourth dragon of the game. I have a feeling we're not going to see a fifth dragon because I'm not confident in this game lasting long another 6 minutes. As that is going to be the dragon finally going down. Nope, there he goes. Okay. Twisted Fate left a little bit early, but Graves is just going to be taking this inhibitor with Olaf, and LeaguersGG doesn't even want to try and stop them. It's only those two. And LeaguersGG has all 5 members there, but they don't even make an effort to stop them from taking the inhibitor. Just goes to show how afraid of the damage of those two that they really are. As now Jarvan tries to go in a bit,
Oh,
but
there's the Righteous Glory.
you missed your opportunity because the rest of Shabab albomb is here now. And this is going to be a 5v5. Annie getting dropped very low, but there goes Ragnarok and Sejuani charging in. Olaf is going to get the kill onto Kalista. Graves picking up one on Jarvan. A double kill for Olaf. Alistair is not going to be living very long either. The true damage from that reckless swing picking up the kill. And that's should be the game. There's going to be Annie going and giving a kill over to the Alistair. Katarina actually coming out and finally getting a shutdown, even the first kill for Graves. However, both Nexus towers are down. There's super minions in the base, and the Nexus is going to be soon to follow. And Shabab albomb survives to fight another day, moving on to the next round